Today's video is from RightTheHand. Oh boy. He doesn't know about the atmosphere, the air. Oh my God. No. Ugh. Okay. Let's get this train wreck moving.
Okay, well, right the hand here. We're talking about air pressure. So this guy that you see here, he's not underwater, all right?
Oh, Jethro!
Now, picture that he's in air. Now, air, again, picture it here with me, right? We can picture all sorts of things in our heads.
And?
Air is a fluid, okay? So you have this, it's like water, but much, much thinner, okay? And it's floating, okay? Now we walk through it and we displace air. Whenever we move, air fills the gap. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So the air has no pressure, really. It's...
Dumbass.
So vaporous that it doesn't create really any pressure by itself. What does create pressure is the sediments of stuff, the contaminants that are in the air. And
No! No!
those sort themselves naturally into a gradient. So at the bottom, you're going to have the most amount of fine particulates that you can't see.
You're an idiot.
And those make the air tighter.
You are a moron.
So if you had a bag of chips, or a barometer, there would be like a pushing. It would be tighter together because there's these contaminants. It would be like if you kind of pressurized it or squeezed it together because there's fine particulates that are taking up space, and it's not, so in that square area, it's not just vaporous air, it's a lot of microscopic unseeable particles that are creating a thicker medium with a higher pressure.
Okay.
You must be so embarrassed! Do me!
I have never felt such humor!
Now when you start going up, you get out of that sludge. Now these things are also what makes vision all weird and whatnot at the ground level, but we're just talking about the pressure gradient. So everybody wants to know, well, how do you have a pressure gradient not in a container, not with gravity? This is how you do it. If you think of empty space as not a thing, or you just, however you want to think about it, there's nothing above us, or there isn't, it just stops, like how water hits air, and you have that surface of the air against the surface of the water, and they meet, and there's a cohesive...
Today, Junior?
What would the word be for this? I guess where they, togetherness, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's no empty space between the air and the water. They just meet as one. Now, if you go up, maybe the air just stops and meets the thinnest or the fourth medium, whatever the fuck you want to think about it. So you don't need to have a downward pulling force to have a gradient.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
You just need to have the fluids, a fluid, with contaminants in it that will create the same effect. So a barometer, look, and I'm not even trying to get to the tree of knowledge and figure out how this shit works, but you guys are begging for explanations, and this one fits everything. You don't have the randomness of things bouncing around. You have particulates, which are creating the higher pressure. As you go up, the particulates get less, so they're not, the air is easier to expand because it doesn't have to push these microscopic things out. And probably these are some of the things that your body uses when you breathe in and breathe out, and what plants use. So you're just filtering this air.
It's finally happened. You've lost your mind.
You know what I mean? You're just getting the stuff out of the fluid. You're not using the fluid. We don't use air when we breathe it in.
Are you stupid or something?
Air is the placeholder for the things that are in it that we do use when we breathe in and breathe out, and they pass over leaves and whatnot. So there you go. Everybody wants an explanation? Here it is.
So, according to RightTheHand, oxygen is these contaminant particles. All right, Dan, you are a complete moron. Well, this is the end of the video. So, as always, Darth Vader, take us out.
All too easy.